he was on the airplane. Of course, he's threatening to. If you don't open up the straits by in 3 days, meanwhile, the stock market is fluctuating heavily. Imagine the people that are getting the inside information on this. Yeah. Boy. I was doing some paper trading the other day it was just options based on what Big Mouth would do on Friday versus what he's going to do on Monday. And you have a big, like 10% movement. Brent oil, it was down to $99 at one point, and now it's up to $110. Imagine gaining that much, 10% on futures. It's a lot of money. In fact, in my other channel, I said, hey, if any of you guys know about futures or perhaps options, this is a great time for you to capitalize on something between Friday and Saturday. If it goes up or down, it doesn't matter. If you have your options there, you're probably going to make a huge amount. And so if I'm thinking that way, I'm just a little shit I'm a guy who doesn't know anything, right? Imagine what these guys with inside information are up to, and tell me that Trump is not telling these those two Jared and Kushner, the other one, what's his name, Wyckoff, whatever his name is. While he's talking in this airplane about all this, he's flaunting the ballroom. He's got this idea of having a great ballroom which would be nice to have some kind of a palace-like structure that you can, invite guests and people from other countries and make it a very nice, something like Putin. He's got that palace. See, in China, he's got the beautiful entertaining place for dignitaries. Although I'm not too crazy, I'm not going to talk about what I feel about dignitaries, but okay, you know what I'm talking about. What else we have? Iranian military, Trump negotiating with himself. And then he wants to extract the uranium from Iran. Okay, how is he going to do it? He was asked, how are you going to do that? Well, we have to go in there and just get the stuff. It's like, you just don't go in there and get the stuff. You gotta, first of all, the stuff may be dangerous, and you can't just go in there and grab buckets of it or something. I don't know what this guy, he just makes it up as he goes along, and he's got all the press behind him or in front of him asking soft questions. Oh, Mr. Trump, what's going to happen next? This and that. And little, I don't know. The press is not what it used to be. I mean, those guys were really, they could really be nasty, especially on the Republicans. I remember Reagan, but then again, it's like you find out that eventually both sides are from the same. The fruit comes from the same tree, basically. War crimes for bombing nuclear sites. It is a crime, by the way. According to, it is a crime. I don't know now, but it is a crime for bombing nuclear sites. It's something you don't do, because if you do, you may create, atmospheric problems, pollutions that can go into other countries and continents, and it's something you don't do. Oil going to the highest bidder. Supposedly there was some boat, ships, tankers. These are big ships, carry a huge amount of oil, pretty cheaply, by the way, compared to railroads. Probably a pipeline might be cheaper, but so anyways, there Japan calls up and says, hey, how much for that? How much is that tanker going to Holland or wherever it is going? I think it was going to Europe. How much for that tanker that's going there? How much a barrel? You know what? We give you 30% more if you bring that ship back to us. Bring that oil to us. So oil may be going to the highest bidder. In this case, the highest bidders are the countries that can't afford it. They need it. They cannot do without it. And these are going to be countries that are able to afford. But they need that oil in order to keep their economies going. So oil is probably going to go to the highest bidder. And Russia and Iran and China needs oil, but they get it cheaply from other places, and they're allowing ships to go through the strait. Iran is not the U.S. and the Ayatollah and Trump, which he said that he was asked, who's going to run the Strait of Hormuz, Mr. President? He says, well, the Ayatollah and me, we're both going to run it together. Yeah. They're both going to run it together, the Ayatollah and him. That's what he said, okay? I'm quoting him. He was asked on an airplane about that. Now this oil is going to go to, countries like, who's going to suffer? Okay? A country like Canada is probably going to say, the U.S., of course, they're not going to get any oil. Our prices, we're going to have to pay more oil for more money for gas. I mean, I see it at the pumps already. Other places are really suffering, though. Australia and so forth. But they were on the side of, the United States. They're that same little cabal. They're all the same thing with Europe. They were all in the same little basket of fruit flies that damaged the fruit, basically. And this nut job went to do something illegally with information from who knows where he got the obvious. And it was passed on to Hexeth and everybody else, and okay, we're going to do this, and even though it's illegal, but I think a lot of those generals knew that it's coming from not their sources. It's coming from Netanyahu and their Mossad agents, passed down directly to Trump, bypassing the normal routes to do something like this, to start a war, basically. So we have oil going to the highest bidder. Europe's going to suffer, most likely. Anybody who supports the U.S. is going to suffer. Canada, of course, the United States. Where else we got? That's pretty much it. That's gonna. Europe's just gonna suffer, with Putin thinking of switching the pipeline over to the Southeast Asia. Probably make a lot more money there because Europe is, you look at their country, it's a freaking wreck, letting all these immigrants in there, not immigrants, illegal, allowing the illegal invasion of white countries, basically. That's what it is. And you are all these other people from you destroy the country. Unfortunately, they're pretty much gone. It's sad. It's sad. But, okay, what else we got, guys? Top General out. Hexeth forces him out, by the way. That happened, I believe, yesterday or early today. Remember what I said? People are going to start little by little. I noticed that Kathleen, what's her name? The mouth for the White House. The blonde girl that talks about Trump, how wonderful he is all the time, even though he's He's the worst president ever. I said that people are going to start dropping out. Once they see the stupidity and the craziness going on, people are just going to start resigning. We already had a resignation about a week ago from that guy, Kent. Now he's doing the rounds. I don't care to listen to a lot of these people. Bondi supposedly is being let go, quote unquote. Basically, she's probably talked about, hey, this is I don't believe in a lot of this stuff, and I think that I'm gonna if you let me go or I resign. There was probably some talk and that she wants out. I mean, she's grilled every week on Capitol Hill for everything, and I mean, come on, and knowing what's going on with all this, the questions are going to be, with the war crimes and all that. If we ever get some investigations going, she's gonna, she knows that she's gonna be grilled to death. What did you know? How, when did you know? What email did you, how, why, everything coming out. And that's very stressful for someone. And it's like, okay, you gotta get the records for all this, find out what I did. This is, these jobs are something that you gotta, keep a diary, or you keep logs of all your activities, basically. And you catalog everything because they're going to want to know. And we have, who else do we have? Hexeth has let go of one of the generals in the armed forces. One of the top generals. I forget his name at the time, but I didn't write it down. Forces him out, supposedly. Most likely the general was probably telling him something that Hexeth didn't want to know, or that maybe he let Hexeth think, let him on to know that he was about to resign. And instead of having people resign, the resignations are going to be coming in more profoundly as the structure, the Trump structure, falls apart. And you're gonna have new people coming in, all tough and everything, and they're gonna see what's going on, and people are gonna start leaving left and right. I think that's what happened to Kathleen the other day, because Trump was in the press room instead of her. So she might be like, okay, I see what's going on, and I'm being told lies, and I have to tell these people a bunch of lies, and I don't like it. Pretty soon they're going to come to their senses a little bit more. And that's pretty much what I have for going on today. What else do we have? That's it. I think I cleared everything out. I hope I explained some things, and if you like what I talk about, how I talk about it, I'm not an expert yet. I've been around quite a bit, so I know a little out of things here and there. What's going to happen now? Of course, what's in the future? What's in the future here? We're screwed. In the United States, we are F to the top, and we're just gonna have to perhaps. If I was Trump, I'd be telling people, hey, try to condense your trips going out a little bit more. Try not to use the car as much. Turn down your heat a little bit, maybe. If you use oil, industries too, try to be more efficient than ever before. Maybe we can keep the prices low. That's how you do it, And I think a lot of people would. I think a lot of people would be able to cooperate with something like that. imagine if everybody, instead of driving 5 days out of the week, they only go out 3 days a week. Okay, it cuts down on the oil consumption. Try to do everything in those 3 days. You know, go out, go to the restaurant, your favorite stuff, do whatever you did. Just don't sit at home and do what you always did, but just try to condense those trips. That would cut down a lot. And the same thing with municipalities, the big cities, with the big buses and all that. Can you cut down a little bit more now that the prices are going to go up? By the way, the cities are going to suffer quite a bit. Of course, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to raise the taxes or raise the fees because they're so stupid. People in mayors and all these aldermen, they are so dense. They are so dense. They would rather see the citizens just crumble than to help. Than to do something. Okay, we gotta change. We gotta change now, or else it's not gonna work. It's people are gonna start coming out of their houses, and they're gonna be really pissed. And that's their jobs. That's the jobs of the citizens. Okay, yeah, this is the microphone I inherited from Charlie. Okay, guys, that's all I got for today. I think I covered what I wanted to cover. I'm probably going to do like an update once a week because I think that's probably better for now. And I'll see you in the next one, okay? And subscribe, like, whatever. Take care.